In this video, we will be trying to find out if the Jurassic World 3 Gigantosaurus, aka Jurassic World Dominion Gigantosaurus, actually killed the T-Rex in a 1v1 fight footage. Today, we will be analyzing the footage to see, and evidence to see if the Rex actually did die to the Gigantosaurus. We'll find out in this video. First off, we need to determine what these two animals are like. In the footage, we see that the Gigantosaurus actually had a very thick tail and very sharp serrated teeth and pretty long claws. And it might have had some spikes on its head too, going down its back. And it had very powerful feet too, as we saw from the footage as well. The Rexy himself, or herself, actually had a little bit of changes to her too. Some feathers were located on the back of her body and on the top of her head. So yes, she might have had a few feathers while trying to fight this 1v1, or fight in this 1v1. And her tail was a pretty likely stance too. It wasn't as thick as the Gigantosaurus. Like, look at this clip. Look, its tail wasn't really as thick as the Gigantosaurus's tail. But it doesn't really matter who has a thick tail. We're just trying to find out if the Gigantosaurus actually did kill the Tyrannosaurus Rex in this footage. Number 2, the battle. As you can see, the Gigantosaurus in the first clip, we saw that the Gigantosaurus actually rose from the ground, and a dinosaur was literally standing there as the shadow rose over its head, and the Gigantosaurus was officially awakened from its nap. Or at least when something was trying to clean it. We didn't know where Rexy was at this time. We were just only looking at the Gigantosaurus. But some people might have said that she was probably not more than probably 1 mile away, 15 minutes. And how the Tyrannosaurus Rex actually got there, we determined that she probably had some Tyrannosaurus actually have really powerful sensors, which determined that the Gigantosaurus was probably detected miles away or more from the T-Rex. As the two animals meet each other, the dinosaurs start to go away as they find out that this Gigantosaurus isn't any ordinary Gigantosaurus. Its tail was very, very thick, thicker than any other dinosaur's tail, thicker than the Spinosaurus's. The T-Rex tail wasn't really as thick as this time, as we saw from that footage right there. As you can see, that tail right there is where I'm circling, wasn't really as thick as the Gigantosaurus's tail. And by observing some of the clip, we saw that the Gigantosaurus did have a really, really thick tail, like I said a few minutes ago. When the dinosaurs start to circle each other, they are in hopes of trying to find some weaknesses or possibly trying to find anywhere that could lead to possible death between these two ferocious carnivores. As you can see, the T-Rexy was on this side, but then she moved over to this side. How come? That's because the two ferocious carnivores were circling each other and hoping to find a weakness on anywhere on their bodies. As the Tyrannosaur tries to attack the Gigantosaurus rams the Tyrannosaur with its head. But its skull wasn't really as strong as the Tyrannosaur's, but it still resisted and it kept on fighting. It pushed the T-Rex and went over its neck to try to at least scratch it or inflict some fatal wound on it, or something like that. As it did that, it swung the T-Rex around with its massive body. And as the T-Rex slightly pushes away the Gigantosaurus nearly slips off a cliff or something, as we believe it was in the footage, as it uses its massively long, thick tail to feel how deep the ditch was. The Gigantosaurus grabs a hold of the Tyrannosaurus' neck and swings it at 180 degrees around to where it was. This places it on higher ground, and if the Tyrannosaur even did manage to escape, it would just simply back into the pit where the Gigantosaurus was trying to push the T-Rex in. And yes, it did succeed in pushing the Tyrannosaurus in, as we see it fall in that footage. The Gigantano walks away victorious from the fight, as it feels like it did defeat the Tyrannosaur. But did it actually defeat the Tyrannosaur? The only evidence was this. Its defiant pupils, or non-defiant pupils. When an animal dies, this is their body relaxes, muscles relax, and eyelashes tense up, and everything just like literally just relaxes, even its tail and arms and everything else. And its jaw muscles relax too. After a little bit after a few hours, the muscles will start to tense up a little bit or tighten up. So is the T-Rex actually dead? We will find out in the movie next time when we actually see these two animals go on a 1v1 fight. But that was only very little footage that we saw from these two dinosaurs. So, do you guys think that the Gigantosaurus walked away victorious, or did you think they did not walk away victorious? And the Tyrannosaur did actually wake up, Rexy as her name. We will find out in the movie next year. Only in theaters June 10th, 2022.